So you guys have been asking for it. We're back with the FIFA 21 Preston North End career mode. If you'd like to see more on the channel, then drop a like on the video. Let's hop into it. So welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. As you all know, I like to do an annual FIFA career mode with Preston North End, and it usually lasts about 5 episodes. This time around, we'll try and get a bit further on into this season, but there's quite a bit to like about career mode this year. And with Preston, it's an interesting team at this point in time. Obviously, with players' contracts running down and things like that. In the transfer window, we only made 1 signing, so there is quite a bit to do for this squad in this transfer window. I want you guys to leave your suggestions in the comments down below. Who do you think I should look into in terms of potential signings? But the only one we made in real life was Emil Reese. He is going to be the main man for us going forward. Jaden Stockley, move aside, get him in there. So there are a few positions that I am looking to improve in this career mode. I feel like we are in need of another wide option, so a winger is one we're going to be looking into. Left back as well, I'm not completely sold on Andy Hughes. I may look to move him on. And also, a backup goalkeeper is most definitely needed. Connor Ripley, he's not the man for me. Realistically, if we're going through this team, Connor Ripley, add to transfer list. I don't think he's got a future here. Tom Bayliss, I'm going to put him on the loan list, and I'm going to try and get him out on like a 3-month loan or something like that. Get him a bit more experience because our midfield is absolutely stacked at this point in time. Same for Billy Bowden. I'm not completely sold on him. We'll wait and see if we do bring in a winger, but if we do, Billy Bowden might be on his way out. And if we do look into our striker options, this is another position where I think we are in need of a little bit more depth. David Nugent, I absolutely love the guy, but we're going to be adding him to the transfer list. With Louis Moult as well, he's injured in real life still currently, so I'm tempted to get him out for a loan up until January or something like that so we can match it. The expectations on us this season are to fight for promotion, and I think that's fair enough. You know, under Alex Neil in real life, we have been challenging in and around the playoffs. I think that now is the time we go ahead and really bridge that gap and make it into the top 6. But for that, we're going to need to make some quality signings. Our current transfer budget is 3.2 million. I mentioned one of the positions that I wanted to strengthen was a left back, and I've just got such a soft spot for Greg Cunningham. Could we bring him back to North End? I think all you guys have got that one player who, even after he's left your club, you want him to do well. Greg Cunningham has been a player who's been so unlucky throughout his career, and since he's left North End really with injuries, despite him going out on loan to Blackburn, we're going to try and bring him back. I'm tempted to see if they would like Andy Hughes. I feel like that would be a decent swap deal. They get Andy Hughes, we get Greg Cunningham. I feel like everyone's a winner in that, so we'll see what they say to that. So they are happy to take Andy Hughes plus 470k and a 10% sell-on clause. I'm happy with the sell-on clause because he's going to be here for quite some time, Greg Cunningham, but for that transfer fee, we'll try and get that down a little bit. We'll go to 250 and see what they say to that. So the Cardiff are happy with that. That's all good news. So Greg Cunningham, if we do agree contract with him, will be rejoining North End. Important first team player, I think that Cunningham's going to be just that. He's going to have Josh Hill that's trying to push on into the first team, but he is going to be our first choice left back, so that's more than fine. Give him a 3-year deal as well. If we disregard the release clause, he wants 13 grand, which I think is reasonable for Greg Cunningham. We'll go ahead and accept that, and we have now made our first signing, so that instantly improves us at the back. I think we're going to give him that number 3 shirt, and we'll push Josh Hill up to number 16 at the moment. Greg Cunningham back in the North End shirt, it just looks right. Now in real life, Randall Williams has been another player who we have been linked to. He can play in a couple of positions, either at right back or a little bit further forward on the wing, and he could be that alternative to Billy Bowden, who's obviously so injury prone in real life and is getting on a little bit. He could be the younger alternative to that. I think he's only got 12 months left in his contract as well, so he's going to be another player that we're going to keep our eye on. But do get your suggestions in the comments down below for who you think we should look into. So still looking for a backup goalkeeper and a striker. Connor Ripley said, I'm glad you decided to put me up for sale. I'm glad we agree for that one, Connor. David Nugent has also said the same, and I think it's time we moved them both on, really. Legia Warsaw have come in with an offer for Connor Ripley. It's over his value, so I'm just going to go ahead and accept that. Portland Timbers have come in with an offer for Tom Bayliss. It's a loan to buy option, which I'm going to have to negotiate. I'm happy to send him out on loan there, but we want to keep Tom Bayliss in this squad. Suppose loan without the option to buy. See what they say to that. Okay, they're not having it. New York City FC have now come in with an offer for Tom Bayliss. This one just a loan deal. A lot of American clubs interested. We'll get him a bit of experience stateside, and yeah, I'm happy to send him out on loan there for the time being. We may recall him a little bit into the season, or if we do get a few injuries cropping up, but I feel like he needs a bit of game time. So Connor Ripley has now departed, so we will be in need of a backup goalkeeper, and Tom Bayliss has been loaned out. I'm happy with both of those things. In terms of a potential system that we could play this this season, I'm tempted to move towards a diamond because realistically our best players are all midfielders. So to try and fit as many in as possible, a diamond could be the way to go forward, which would mean I'd need to start training Tom Barcusen and Scott Sinclair potentially as a striker to play off Emile Reece. I think that could be quite effective. But if we go over to Scott Sinclair's development plan, it'll take about 4 weeks to transition him into a striker. It is a position that he's played for us in real life before, and I quite like that diamond system, so I think that could be quite an effective one. Our first game of the season, Caesar's going up against Cardiff at Deepdale. Now this is a game that we did lose in real life, so it's not the easiest starts in the world. I'm tempted to start with this sort of diamond formation. Obviously Greg Cunningham will be going up against his former side here. Cardiff, you know what to expect from them. They're going to make it tough for you. So this is the team I'm going to go with. I think I'm going to keep it fairly simple. I'm going to go with Sinclair and Reece up front, and then we got the pace of people like Maguire and Barcusen to come off the bench, the energy of someone like Brad Potts or Josh Harrop as well. Fullbacks are going to be important to this sort of system because obviously they provide the width, but I feel pretty confident going into the game with this sort of system. It's a very strong midfield we got in here. Oh, look at him. Greg Cunningham is back at Deepdale to make his second debut for the club. Let's go. Cardiff's going to be a tough game though, obviously. Like I say, we lost this game 1-0 in real life, and our home records have been absolutely shocking so far this season, so hopefully we'll be able to change that around on this career mode. If we look at their lineup, it's what to be expected really. Lee Tomlin playing off Glatzel, Hoylett and Bacuna out wide, and obviously Adrian Flint and Sean Morrison is going to be a tough partnership to go past. Obviously Flint has left in real life but is still here on this career mode, so we'll see what we can do. Reece and Sinclair is going to have to do the business for us today. Also, if you were wondering, we will be playing this career mode on legendary difficulty. I do want it to be a little bit of a challenge, and I think that legendary is just going to be that. I think the best way to try and get around this Cardiff side is to try and play a bit of fast football. You know, if you're trying to play up long to your striker, it's not going to work against Aidan Flint and Sean Morrison, two of the best sort of centre halves in the league for that sort of thing. But it's a decent ball that's whipped in there by Greg Cunningham, but Sinclair just couldn't get his head to it. We can play the ball back in here. Cardiff defend it well, but there are promising signs going forward, but Cardiff will be a tough nut to crack. And Brown, a lot of our attacking threats coming from our fullback so far. Darnell Fisher, if he can see Emile Reece at the far post, it goes to DJ instead, who finishes it well, and it's 1-0 to Preston North End. DJ and Darnell Fisher linking up well. Two players who we need them fit in real life. When DJ and Fisher are in our team, it makes us so much stronger. That's the first goal of the Preston career mode. Hopefully it'll be a sign of things to come. Nice ball in from Darnell Fisher on that right hand side. I was meaning for that to go to Reece, but DJ takes it well and finishes past the keeper. 1-0. Let's try and keep this going. It has been strange how in real life our home record has been so poor, because last season it was the complete opposite of that. We couldn't buy a win away from home, and then at home we were absolutely fantastic. Like, I think for the first sort of 15 games of the season we were right at the top of the championship table in terms of home form, but this season without the fans it's just completely dropped off a cliff. Oh, this is where Cardiff could be dangerous. Someone like Junior Hoylett, if he manages to whip a ball in. Darnell Fisher obviously loves a yellow card in real life, but I'm trying not to dive in. Does really well to win the ball back there, and we could have an attack forming. DJ spreads the ball to Ledson, Ledson to Sinclair, into Emile Reece. Now, something about Emile Reece, he's so strong, both in real life and in this game. He's also got a real turn of pace about him. We get that ball to Sinclair. If Cunningham can find him, oh, the header just goes over the bar from the former Swansea City player. It's good play from us at the moment. The fullbacks really are offering quite a bit going forward. That's another nice bit of play. Greg Cunningham being a real outlet on this left-hand side so far. Not really got any options, so we'll come back into Ledson. And then for Pearson, who will bang one with, you know, not bad. It gets a deflection, which could lead to something if we pull it back. Oh, it's a good save by Alex Smithies, top goalkeeper in the Championship, and Sinclair is denied once again. To be fair, in that first half, Cardiff really didn't offer all too much going forward, but this is the sort of game in FIFA 21 where the opposition only needs one shot and it's just guaranteed to go in, especially when you are playing on legendary difficulty. It's really tough. Set pieces is definitely somewhere where they can be a threat from as well. That's their first real opening of the game. I think that was Aidan Flint. Yeah, it was. Just over the bar there. Cardiff definitely growing into this game a little bit more in this second half, but so far we have been able to manage them as of yet. Greg Cunningham, I'm sure, will want a clean sheet against this former side, but that's a nice bit of play there. Lee Tomlin, can he get around Bauer? Oh, Declan Rudd makes a save. Does well there to save from Marlon Pack. Their first proper attempt on goal, that. And we all know the threat that Cardiff pose from set pieces as well. It's Bacuna whipping this in. Glatzel wins the header, but Rudd saves well once again. Cardiff really are putting on the pressure here, but Ben Davies does well, and we'll try and move this forward here with DJ, who carries the ball so well. DJ, if he can find Sinclair in a bit of space here. Sinclair, can he get around Morrison? Gonna check back inside, go for Alan Brown, who the space opens up to hit one and he has a shot crashing off the crossbar. That was the chance there to make it 2-0. What a strike this was from Alan Brown. He's just scored 2 against Huddersfield in real life, and that's a great effort, but just off the bar. A point against Cardiff wouldn't even be a bad result, but you want to get a win on the opening day, don't you? Here's Donald Fisher with a chance. If he can whip it in, he cuts it back for Sinclair, who hits an absolute rocket into the top corner. That makes it 2-0 to North End, and you think that that should be the points wrapped up. We'll try and hold on from here, but what a finish that was. A great bit of work from Donald Fisher down that right-hand side once again. Cuts it back into Sinclair. He's had a couple of chances already, but takes that on his left foot and absolutely smashes it in past Alex Smithies. He had absolutely no chance. Technique on that. So I'm going to go ahead and make some changes now. Tom Barcusen, Josh Harrop and Brad Potts all going to be introduced for the last 20 minutes of this one. Potts here, he's got the new hair on this game as well. He's looking good on it. He's someone who can make these sort of runs from midfield. Potts looks to cut it back onto his favoured right foot. If he can whip a decent ball in there. We've been decent from these crosses so far today, but Alex Smithies gathers that well. Cardiff on the attack here, but Ben Pearson, goes in with a bit of a late challenge there, Ben Pearson. To be fair, he's been decent in real life, not for being booked all too much, but he does get the first yellow card of this career mode, which probably was quite likely. We'll be on for another goal here, you know. Josh Harrop slipped in. Harrop, if he can find one more to Emil Rees. Oh, the ball just goes past him. We can collect though with Brad Potts. Brad Potts, if he can cut inside and get a shot away, it's blocked well by Cardiff, but we'll take the corner. Last bit of action in the game here. Josh Harrop will whip this one in. Alan Brown tries to get to it, but I think that's going to be it. And it is full time, so 2-0 on the opening day of the season. I think we'll all take that. It was a good performance. Like I said, this was a game that we did lose in real life, but we looked good. The diamond, I thought, worked quite well. Both our fullbacks worked really well as well. And if we do add a little bit more to this squad, no reason why we can't be really up there this season in the Championship. So Scott Sinclair was man of the match with an 8.5 rating, but big shout out to Donald Fisher with the 2 assists in this one. Some of the other results from the opening day: Watford beating Blackburn by 3 goals to 0. They're going to be very strong in this year's career mode. They're going to be a tough side to beat. Delighted with the first win. This team can grow. Honestly, this team's going places this season. So this is how our schedule's looking for the opening of this season. A little bit easier than real life, but we do have a couple of similar matches. So obviously Cardiff, who we've already played, Stoke as well, and Huddersfield in real life, all which were pretty tough matches. So we're all going to be put through the test in those games. But that will now wrap it up for this first episode of the Preston career mode, guys. If you want to see this becoming a regular feature on the channel, make sure to leave a like. Your support is always massively appreciated. I like where the squad is at the moment, but do get your suggestions in the comments down below for players you think we should be looking at. So at the end of today's episode, after one game has been played, we are sitting 3rd in the Championship with just Millwall and Watford ahead of us. If we look down, actually not everyone's actually played yet, but Blackburn Rovers are bottom of the league, so we'll leave it on that, guys. So thank you very much for watching. If you want to enjoy, make sure to leave a like, stick around and subscribe for a bit of regular Championship content. But apart from that, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.